Hours before the tsunami hit, every animal on this beach was already gone. This dog woke its owner up to minutes before the earthquake. These fish surfaced days before the volcano erupted. None of this is coincidence. This is documented, repeated animal behavior. Animals sense things our best instruments still miss. Number 10 saved an entire village. Number 5 predicted a disaster 3 days early. And number 1 might be the reason ancient civilizations survived at all. If nature genuinely amazes you, subscribe now. Every case here is real and documented. Let's start the countdown. Number 10. In 2004, elephants in Sri Lanka refused to go near the beach hours before the deadliest tsunami in modern history. Tourists and staff noticed the elephants becoming agitated, breaking their chains, and moving toward higher ground. A resort worker followed the elephants purely out of curiosity, and that decision saved his life. Scientists believe elephants can detect infrasound, extremely low vibrations traveling through the ground from an earthquake far out at sea. This same sense that lets elephants communicate across kilometers may have given them a warning no technology had. Not a single wild elephant was found dead in that region, while thousands of people tragically lost their lives. This wasn't the first time either, since historical records describe animals fleeing inland before ancient tsunamis in the same region. To this day, some coastal communities in the region watch elephant behavior as an informal early warning system. A single herd's instinct outperformed every seismic sensor in the region on that exact morning. Number 10 down, and the next 9 get significantly harder to explain. Number 9. In the winter of 1975, snakes in Haicheng, China began leaving their hibernation burrows weeks early in the freezing cold. This behavior should have been fatal for the snakes, since freezing temperatures typically kill any snake caught outside hibernation. Combined with unusual behavior in farm animals and changing well water levels, Chinese officials made a genuinely bold decision. They evacuated the entire city of Haicheng just hours before a massive earthquake struck the region directly. This evacuation is now credited with saving an estimated 150,000 lives during the disaster. This remains one of the only successful earthquake evacuations in recorded human history, based partly on animal behavior. Seismologists still debate exactly what the snakes and other animals were detecting before the ground actually moved. Some researchers believe animals sense subtle electrical changes released by rocks under stress deep underground. This exact theory is now being studied seriously as a potential tool for future earthquake prediction systems. A reptile with no ears and no complex brain may have detected an earthquake before any human instrument could. Number 8. 5 days before a major earthquake struck L'Aquila, Italy, researchers noticed something strange at a nearby pond. A colony of nearly 100 male toads suddenly abandoned their breeding pond entirely, all at once. This behavior was genuinely unprecedented, since male toads almost never leave an active breeding site during mating season. A researcher studying the toads at the time documented the mass departure with genuine scientific confusion. 5 days later, a magnitude 6.3 earthquake struck the region, killing over 300 people and destroying the city. The toads returned to their pond and resumed normal breeding activity almost immediately after the earthquake ended. This suggested the toads weren't fleeing general danger, but specifically detecting something directly tied to the coming quake. Researchers now believe amphibians may be sensitive to changes in groundwater chemistry caused by shifting underground rock. 100 small amphibians noticed danger that seismologists with advanced equipment did not detect until days later. We're 3 animals in, and everything from here gets even harder to explain. If you're already hooked, go ahead and subscribe right now. Number 7. A cat named Oscar living in a nursing home would visit a specific patient's room hours before that patient passed away. Oscar had no special training and showed no interest in most patients, but consistently chose to sit with residents near death. Staff became so confident in his accuracy that they would call family members whenever Oscar took up his position. Doctors documented his behavior in a published medical journal, tracking his accuracy across more than 25 confirmed cases. One theory suggests cats can detect specific chemical changes that occur naturally in the body in the final hours before death. This mirrors similar documented abilities in dogs trained to detect certain cancers and other diseases through smell alone. But this theory remains unproven, and to this day nobody has fully explained exactly how Oscar knew every single time. Families of patients later said his presence, whatever its cause, gave them time to say a goodbye they might have missed. Number 6. Sharks tagged with tracking devices have been observed swimming into deeper water days before hurricanes make landfall. Researchers tracking tagged sharks along the American coastline noticed a consistent pattern before major storm systems arrived. The sharks would leave their normal shallow coastal habitat and swim directly toward deeper, calmer offshore waters. Scientists believe sharks can detect sudden drops in barometric pressure that occur before a hurricane approaches land. Their lateral line system, normally used to detect prey movement, appears sensitive enough to register this pressure shift. This same behavior has been documented across multiple different shark species in several separate hurricane seasons. Marine biologists now consider tag shark movement a potentially useful early indicator for tracking developing storm systems. A predator with no access to weather forecasts consistently reacts to storms before meteorologists confirm they are forming. Number 5. In Japan, catfish behavior has been studied for decades as a genuinely serious potential earthquake predictor. This idea traces back centuries, with old folklore describing catfish becoming restless right before major earthquakes struck. Modern researchers eventually tested this folklore directly, monitoring catfish activity levels continuously for extended periods. In several documented studies, catfish activity noticeably increased in the hours immediately preceding measured seismic events. Scientists believe catfish have specialized skin receptors that can detect faint electrical changes in surrounding water. These changes may be caused by stressed underground rock releasing electrical charges before an earthquake actually occurs. Despite decades of research, results have been inconsistent enough that catfish alone are not used as an official prediction method. Japanese researchers continue studying this behavior seriously, combining it with other early warning signals for greater accuracy. A folk belief centuries old is still being tested by modern scientists using serious, government-funded research programs. Number 4. Golden-winged warblers were tracked leaving their nesting grounds nearly a full day before a massive tornado outbreak. Researchers had already tagged these specific birds with tiny tracking devices for an entirely separate migration study. This meant the sudden mass departure was captured entirely by accident, providing genuinely rare scientific data. The birds flew over 800 kilometers away from their nesting grounds before returning several days later entirely. A massive tornado outbreak struck the exact region they had fled, producing over 80 separate tornadoes across several states. Weather radar had not yet detected any signs of the coming storm system when the birds first began leaving. Scientists believe the birds detected extremely low-frequency infrasound generated by the developing storm system itself. This infrasound can travel enormous distances well before any visible storm clouds actually begin to form overhead. A tiny songbird detected a massive weather disaster nearly a full day before any human meteorological system could. Number 3. In 373 BC, ancient Greek historians recorded something genuinely extraordinary happening before a city was destroyed. Historians described rats, snakes, and weasels fleeing the city of Helike in large numbers, days before disaster struck. According to the accounts, every single animal left the city completely, and no human took the warning seriously. Days later, a massive earthquake struck, followed by a tsunami that completely destroyed the city and drowned it entirely. Helike was so thoroughly destroyed that it disappeared entirely beneath the sea, becoming a genuine ancient mystery for centuries. Modern archaeologists only rediscovered the actual submerged city ruins in 2001, confirming the ancient historical accounts were true. This makes it one of the earliest written records in all of human history describing animals predicting a natural disaster. For over 2,000 years, humans have documented this exact pattern, and we still haven't fully learned to listen. Number 2. Before certain wildfires and environmental disasters, entire flocks of birds have been documented abandoning regions early. In several documented wildfire cases, birds left affected forests hours or even a full day before flames were visible. Researchers believe birds can detect faint smoke particles and subtle chemical changes in the air far earlier than humans can. This early detection ability has been studied by wildfire researchers hoping to develop better, faster early warning systems. Similarly, animals near the Chernobyl exclusion zone were observed showing unusual stress behavior in the days before the disaster. Some residents later reported their pets refusing to enter certain rooms or areas of their homes without any clear reason. While harder to formally document than seismic events, these accounts appear consistently across multiple independent witness reports. Researchers continue investigating whether animals can sense radiation, chemical shifts, or other invisible dangers before instruments detect them. Whatever the mechanism, animals across the world keep responding to danger before our own instruments manage to catch up. And now, number 1. A family dog woke its sleeping owners exactly 2 minutes before a landslide destroyed their home entirely. The dog began barking frantically and physically pulling at bedsheets, refusing to stop despite the family's initial confusion. The family evacuated the house just moments before a massive landslide completely destroyed their home behind them. Geologists later confirmed the ground beneath the home had been shifting subtly for hours before the final collapse occurred. Investigators believe the dog may have detected faint groaning sounds from shifting soil, far below the range of human hearing. This exact case is now studied alongside thousands of similar reports from families who survived disasters because of a pet's warning. Across every single case in this entire video, one pattern remains genuinely consistent throughout all of recorded history. Animals sense the world through channels we still barely understand, and they have been trying to warn us for centuries. 10 animals. Elephants who sensed a tsunami hours early, and snakes who left hibernation weeks before an earthquake. Toads who abandoned their pond days before a deadly quake, and a cat whose presence still can't be fully explained. Sharks who swam to safety before hurricanes, and catfish still studied by scientists using centuries-old folklore. Birds who fled a tornado outbreak a full day early, and an ancient city whose animals tried to warn everyone. Animals fleeing wildfires before flames appeared, and a dog who woke a family 2 minutes before their home collapsed. 10 completely different animals, spanning 2,000 years of recorded history, all sensing danger before we ever could. Scientists still don't fully understand every mechanism behind this, but they take these patterns seriously today. Several countries now fund actual research programs specifically studying animal behavior as a genuine early warning tool. If this genuinely fascinated you, subscribe now, because next week we're covering 10 more, and honestly even stranger. Comment below which one of these 10 animals genuinely surprised you the most, and see you next day.